So many people buy so much bullshit they don't actually need, and they think that bullshit is going to make them happy, and it makes them happy for maybe a short window of time, but the bullshit doesn't make them long-term happy. And so, like, I have so many friends who are working these jobs that they don't actually like. So if you just saved in something that actually held its value and didn't buy bullshit all the time, then you could say, hey, you know what? I don't need this job anymore because I'm independently wealthy, and I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Well, do you guys remember Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, of course.
So, so at some point, Bitcoin forked.
Forked, yes.
And there were some people that they were like, they forked off Bitcoin Cash saying, this is real Bitcoin. I mean, it's trading for $530. So what happens is if you had 10 Bitcoin, when they forked it off, you would get 10 Bitcoin Cash. I immediately sold it for Bitcoin.
Smart.
I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'll take free money.
I couldn't believe, explaining this to relatives at Thanksgiving, I was like, okay, you guys aren't going to get this. Some dude created money out of thin air and gave it to all of us. However, if I just created Jackbucks with this
Jerky?
beef jerky here, no one would value it. But here's the catch. He created money out of thin air, gave it to all of us, and then said he'd give his Bitcoin for it. So we all, everyone was like, what? Someone created money out of thin air and then gave you real money for it? It's like, yeah, I swear to God.
There was a short period where Bitcoin Cash was worth more. It spiked really high.
But if you do the chart like one against the other, it's
nuts.
pretty much down only.
Bitcoin Cash is
Supplies,
$500.
right? You'll notice they're similar. One's $100,000, one's $500. Right? There was also Bitcoin Diamond. There was all of them that kind of came out at the time.
And this goes to
ESV.
I love using chess as an analogy of, no one wants to play Jack's chess or Tim's chess, especially when I start losing and I say, well, okay, I'm going to change the rules. Your queens act like pawns, my pawns act like queens, and I call that Jack's chess. No one wants to play that. The rules of chess are the rules of chess, and if you lose at the game, get better at the game. That, if money is truly a measure of your contributions to society and it's supposed to work how it's intended to work, if you don't like how much money you have, then work harder and be more valuable to people.
I'm going to launch. I'm going to launch my own crypto called Timcast Coin. I am declaring that it is worth nothing. It will never be worth anything, and I will never own a single one. And then some people are going to gamble on it. Like
100%.
You should
you know what I mean?
partner with Hawk Tua.
Ah, there you go.
Strategic deal.
I'll call it Hawk 2.
I think that early on, though, like the messaging was always you buy Bitcoin, you hold Bitcoin, you never sell Bitcoin, you die with your Bitcoin.
Even Trump said,
I know. You never sell your Bitcoin. I know.
Total.
But I do think that mindset has to shift a little bit because if people are really going to adopt a Bitcoin standard for their personal lives, like Jack has, you have to start getting comfortable with that being that Bitcoin is the primary core of your entire financial life.
Yes.
And you're going to be working in and out of that constantly.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you're buying it and dumping it all, right? It means that over time,
You're not buying it as a speculative asset.
as you're buying your goods and services on your credit cards, hopefully as Bitcoin becomes more valuable over time, you're actually paying less of your Bitcoin over time for your expenses. It strengthens your financial picture long term. That mindset shift is going to take a little while. The products have to get really good. I mean, Strike's doing a great job with this to help people understand that. Treat it almost like it's your own bank account and then pay your bills out of it.
What's fascinating, so my lifestyle got cheaper after I adopted Bitcoin and don't own any more dollars. And it's because what does it do to a man or woman if it's technically true?
I don't want to give this shit away.
It's technically true that all the dollars you have now are best spent this second because next second they're worth less stuff. And so what does that do to a society, to a person versus the opposite on Bitcoin? My Bitcoin is better valued tomorrow than today. So I only consume what I absolutely need. All of a sudden, like the interest of getting whatever bags and fancy whatever cars is like, I'm cool with an Uber, man. It's all good. And you are able to save. And conversely, if you are being bled to death monetarily by inflation in a currency that's being printed, then you become an active, addicted consumer because your life's better off spending it now. Literally.
That's what they want. The government.
That's what they want.
After 9/11, George W. Bush said, go spend money. Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. So subscribe and come hang out.